Hi, I'm Rob, and this is Life Rewired. If you're new here, visit our website, myliferewired.com, click on the Contact Us tab, and send us a note. Or if you want to be a guest on the program, that's where you can book it to be on the show, and we'll get back with you and get that scheduled. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this with others so everyone can hear this message. Joining me today is someone that you've seen on the program before, and someone that I'm proud to say I can finally pronounce your name, Janet Shane. Hey, that was a poem almost. Hi, Janet. How are you doing today?
I am great, Rob, and you're so reserved today. I love your humor that you put out.
Thank you.
Because I get that humor is such an abstract thing, and I think maybe you understand as
Yeah.
survivors, anything that abstract is really really hard and difficult to take in. Like when you get run into somebody with really dry humor.
Mm-hmm.
I have a brother. My brother-in-law is that way, and there have been numerous times he's like, "Janet, it's funny," and I went, "Oh, okay," because I don't get it. I like the corny because it's like in my face.
I'm sure you love the weather reports.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. When I started to see those when you had snow and it brings like this kind of smile to my face. Like literally, I can I hope that my comment that you can feel the smile is just radiating because it that is a blessing. Okay, to just like smile out of nowhere. I mean, I smile a lot because I love to smile, and I feel
Yeah.
like it's a window into who I am as
Mm-hmm.
a spirit and a soul. And but to just be gifted to just do it is a real gift. So that's why. And the best was that seriously that day when I sent you last week or whatever it was, or 2 weeks ago, I was like, I just want to tell you, you're like totally awesome. And you're like, who, me? And I'm like, yeah, you.
Who's standing behind me?
I see what you're doing, and it also lights this fire in me because I know that we're walking maybe not the same path, but similar paths, and to
Mm-hmm.
do greatness and to, no offense to you survivors, wake you up and let you know that there is really a whole lot more to life and who you are than your mind and your body is telling you.
Yeah, because it's a lot about your attitude. Recovery is all about attitude. You know, I'm not saying that you're not going to recover if you don't have a good attitude, but it does help. It helps so much. And that's why I don't mind clowning on myself to bring a smile to someone else's face because life is too short. People that just want to go around and grump all day. We were just talking about this before.
Bad energy, bad
Before.
energy, and we need to protect that. And it's not
Hmm.
just us as survivors, but the whole world. If everybody could just kind of get that gist of not letting that kind of energy, don't surround yourself with that kind of energy.
Yes.
It just
Remove
and
people.
stay in energy where you feel maybe not like "Ah," like I do right now,
Yeah.
but at least like even kill.
Hmm. Well, because every day is not going to be a gym,
No.
but that doesn't mean you can't find a diamond in the rough.
That's right. And tears, the best gift, one of the best gifts I got from my spiritual guide, the priest. I told him, I said, I cry all the time. Like I'm like reading books, just different things in life where I'm praying. I will be brought to tears. And he's like, they're just baptismal tears. It's no big deal. And I went, that's a great way to look at it. I'm just being reborn and I'm being re-Christianed for what I'm here to do.
Let's let that be a good segue to why you're here today because you have a whole lot to share with us. So I'm going to give you the floor.
Well, first is I was part of another book collaboration, the third book collaboration, and it was a coach. It's called the Coach's Toolkit, and it's for coaches, but it's also for other people that are looking to to be what we've been talking about, to be their best selves, and in multiple different ways. There, I think there were 10. It's been enough weeks that it's been published that I'm not clear on all my facts, okay? But it's between 10 and 13 people that wrote chapters. They're not long. It like in any of the books, that if you would decide to choose and purchase one of the books, it's like kind of like picking up chicken soup, because
Yeah.
the chap like this chapter, I think they were no more than 2,000 words, and then the other books, it's only up to 3,000 words. And so it
Hmm.
doesn't take horribly long. You can
Yeah.
pick it up, read a story, and put it down.
Hmm.
But if you get in, and then sometimes you read more and more, it just depends
Yeah.
what mood you're in. But that's the delicacy of it. But it's also for people looking for a coach.
Mm.
And it's a great resource. And it's on Amazon right now. Um, it's only an ebook, but hopefully here in the next month and a half, I'll start to get some books again, and then
Okay.
I will make it at a price that includes the shipping, and a private message from me to them, and a bookmark and my signature.
Awesome.
I like to like wrap it in one, wrap it into a bundle.
That's a good thing. That is a good thing.
So, and on that note, here are my other books that I've done, which is the Unstoppable 1
Hmm.
and then Unstoppable 4. I chose not to do 1 or 2, 3, 2 and 3, but I did the first, and this will be the last. So I got to be a part of the front and the end.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, "Oh my gosh, like how cool is that?"
You're like the bookends.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on both ends, and I think that is like, I just think that's really cool.
It is cool. It is very cool.
So, and then also with that, the first book is the basic story of what had happened with my, why and how I had gotten my injury.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know why, but well, I think I know now. But we'll segue into that. But but what happened? The nuts and the bolts of the story. And then the fourth one I wrote when I was recovering from my hip replacement last summer. And with medicine, as funny as it is, I mean, not that I was high, but I I had I was running out of a medicine that would make me feel good,
Hmm.
and I was hurting, and it was only a week out, and you come home with these bottles, this is this so many hours and this so many hours, and
Yeah.
I don't know about you or the rest of you out there, but I am like Nazi queen, okay? Like, I don't break those rules.
Right.
They're there for a reason. They're
Hmm.
there to keep me safe. And
Right.
I'm very black and white when it comes to that kind of stuff. Well, then a week into it, I was running out of the medicine, and I had therapy, and I came home in like 20 minutes. It like hit me like I mean, I went to therapy being like, like, oh, look what I can do. Look what I can. And then it hit like a massive freight
Caught up
train.
with you.
and and then I was like calling the doctor the next day. I'm like, I am in like a lot of, I'm running out of that. You only gave me, I'm running out. I'm almost at a week. And she's like, well, do you have enough, because the doctor's in surgery today, till tomorrow or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, well, do you have enough? Open the bottles right now. Tell me, do you have enough that you can take one every, what, 3 or 4 hours, like alternating, kind of like we do for kids?
Yeah.
Ibuprofen, Tylenol, but it wasn't that. But anywho, um, and I'm like, yeah, I do. I have just enough. And she's like, I want you to do that. Like, you get off the next hour when that hits, you take that, and then you alternate it every those 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
I got off the phone, and I'm like, wait, I came home with bottles that said every 6 and every 8. Now you're telling me I can take it every 3 to 4? And my husband's like, Janet, I've tried to tell you, you need to just listen to your body.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, but that didn't say that I could.
But you
That's
had a
when I
very good reason
realized,
for not wanting to do that constantly because you don't want to become addicted to that stuff.
yeah, well, and I would, and I want. That's why I follow, okay.
Right. Right.
But with that, it also, I was like, oh my gosh, it's not just medicine. I have put myself in that box
Hmm.
again. I have stopped looking outside of boundaries to grow myself to be able to serve others.
Mm.
And so that's what my chapter is about. And yeah, and it just, and then that was, that was one journey in itself. And then in October I went to an event with a business coach that I have that I work with in Chicago. And because when I wrote that book, I was geared, like I had done like this next level meditation, and it said that I was supposed to help caregivers of, of like traumatic brain injury survivors, or people that, parents that have special need, like whatever. Because I have a nephew that has myopathy mitochondrial. He's, since he was 2 and he's over 30. They're wonderful parents, so I've seen them and how they've had to work through it. And then I had another in-laws that had a child that was born with small brain, and she lived to about 6 or 7,
Mm.
but I saw their journey,
Yeah.
working. And so I was like, oh, and I saw my mom. I'm like, I got this. Okay, this is not really what I was thinking, but okay, and I asked the spirit, and then they're like, I'm like, okay. And I embraced it. And then in October, it was pointed out, no, I am here to serve traumatic
Mm.
brain injury survivors. And really, in all hindsight, it makes the most sense.
Yeah. It does.
But what I have to share that I have learned can help anyone, like truly anyone. It's not
Mm.
special to TBI,
Yeah.
but those that are willing to do the work,
Hmm.
it can change your life.
Yeah.
Rob, how is that breath taking you out of to help you make your decisions?
It's helped quite a bit.
You
Quite a
taking the
bit.
right pills now when you forget?
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I am, because the first time we met, you had, that was an issue, and you're like, I took the wrong ones, and I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, Rob, I'm going to tell you, try this. I'm not going to say it's going to work, but it's definitely worth a shot, because all you have to do is stop and take a breath.
Yep. It does help. Big time does it help.
And what it does is it's bringing you into the now,
Hmm.
or it's crazy how many, here's a list of what that all means: living in the now, mindfulness, presence, awareness. All of those things are the same package.
Right. And it does make sense because pre brain injury, it was already hard enough to juggle everything. And you're thinking about, okay, I'm doing this right now, but I'm also thinking about, I got to vacuum the house later. I've got to take out the trash. I got to do the dishes. I got to run to the store. All these things that you're don't even have to think about right now, but you're overloading your mind. Well, that's fine. But once you get that brain injury, you got to stay on the straight and narrow. You got to, like you said, stay in the moment.
Yeah, stay in the now. I mean, it's just, and ultimately, um, you will discover at your core, your spirit, and your soul, You are awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, sitting in the mornings and meditating and just taking in the awareness of what you're aware of, that's a really, really cool. And then phenomenon, like, because you'll be like, oh, I can feel my feet touching the ground. I can feel that they're crossed. Oh, I can feel, okay. Oh, there's the chimes, or for me,
Mm-hmm.
because they're right outside the window. And, and the more, I mean, I don't know. I've been taught that I am awareness. And so, but think about it. That awareness isn't this. It's not
Mm.
this mind.
Yeah.
And that, when you can start to really tap into that
Mm-hmm.
and let go of the mind body, because, and not that it's bad, but let me tell you, the mind body is the ego, not saying I'm better than you, but it's the one that
Yeah.
tells you, hey, you did this before, and you know what? You got slapped in the face. This
Mm-hmm.
is, oh, you did that before. You don't do that. Hello.
Yeah.
No. And that's what keeps us safe. Yes,
Right.
it has its place because I mean, we do need to keep ourselves safe, especially as survivors.
Yeah.
But when you really start to pay attention to what you're saying to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
what's coming out of here, when you hear yourself say something,
Mm-hmm.
it's huge
Yeah.
because they're lies. 98 to 99% of what is there is lies.
Right.
It's just, I mean, it's mind-boggling, and wanting. Like, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to have that. Blah, 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 blah. That's all from the ego.
Yeah. True.
Because your spirit, and this is one of the points that I want the survivors to get, and to really to hopefully understand. Your spirit is exactly who your parents gave birth to, whenever that was, whenever your birthday is. That has not changed.
Mm.
You are exactly, because that is made of God's unconditional love, and it hasn't changed. It is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. It is perfect.
Yeah.
We are not perfect, but our
Oh.
spirit, the thing that's not here, as my one coach says, the thing that you are, what is not here at your funeral,
Mm.
that is perfect.
Yeah. That's deep.
And it doesn't see the lack,
Mm-hmm.
because shame, guilt, fear, regret, unforgiveness, all of those things usually come from the past. And then anxiety, worry, stress, um, feeling of lack, wanting, shoulds, shouldn'ts, cans, can'ts, do's, don'ts, those are all from the future. We don't have control over the future. We
Nope.
don't have control over the past. All we can have is right now.
Yeah. Good words.
And when I started this journey, I had been gifted a 3-step system that I use on reminders. It's not me saying, "Oh, I'm going to do that." No, it's literally the phone. I have an app. It's called a reminder app.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can paint a fingernail, have a rubber, whatever. Something that you will see only on certain times, but at least 10 times in a day, I check in with myself.
Mm. That's a good idea.
And I rate on a scale of 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
1 is I want to kill myself. Like, life is really, like, awful.
Yeah.
And 10 is bliss, just glorious, like the best, like even more than what we can even imagine.
Yeah.
And in between there, you're gonna find a number. If you're just like, yeah, I'm doing okay, that's probably a 5, 6. And if you're feeling good, it's like 7, 8. 4 is I'm having a rough day.
Yeah.
And then I say, that's not me.
Hmm.
That is a program.
Time
And
to
then
reboot.
and then I identify, because it's usually on the front side of your body,
Hmm.
probably usually from your waist to your head. You'll notice like there's a sensation more than anything else anywhere else. And like for me, a lot of times it's in my chest, like right here, or in my throat. And then I just start describing. I start using adjectives of what that feels like. And, for example, like, let's say it's in my throat. It feels vibrant. It feels light in color. It feels energy. It feels cylindrical. It feels cool. Different things like that. It's truly describing what you feel in that spot, not your emotions, none of that, because you've already taken care of that by rating it. When you rate it, you've taken care of what you're actually feeling.
Mm.
And then this is like physically, what are you feeling? And then I say, thank you for releasing that. I love you. I love you. I love you. And then I go on. And yes, that took longer than what it takes, but it takes like 30 seconds to do it.
Yeah.
But you need to do it a minimum of 10 times a day. I set my reminders for at least 15. Now, my coach, he puts 20. He does double because, and he has it on a single ring that it alerts you with a single ding. So it's not annoying to anyone in your house, but and I usually keep mine on silent, but I have a watch that will like shake
Mm.
and let me
Hmm.
know, hey, yo, it's time to check in. So, but let's say you have had a 9 or a 10, okay? Because I want to give the full spectrum of it.
Yeah.
You'll say, oh, well, thank you for expressing that. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so I've been doing that. And the reason why I really clamped onto that is just because we all have limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs, the personal development world explodes them. Like they're bad, they're awful, you want to get rid of them. No. I mean, you can't get rid of them. You
Yeah.
don't want to get rid of them because if you're trying to get rid of them, then you're resisting them. And whatever you resist persists.
Mm.
It will continue to show up in your life. So just stop and you observe. And he said that he had said to me, do you want to find the solution or do you want the band aid?
Mm.
And I said, well, I want the solution.
Right.
So he said, well, then tap into this 3-step system. Well, I noticed when I started to do that, Rob, that's when I stopped yelling. I mean, not that I was like yelling at the kids, but to get their attention or whatever, I would say, yeah, dude. I would yell because I grew up on a dairy farm. I mean, it was who I was. I mean, I wasn't yelling like meanly at them, but I would call for them with a full voice. I really
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
And stopped.
Awesome.
I didn't have the need for it. I also turn off the lights in the room. I shut the cupboard doors. I can follow through because I'm in the now. I'm in the moment. And that
Awesome.
was the beginning. And when I started, and if I thought, if I can do that for me, simple
Hello.
things like that irritate other people because
Hmm.
I don't. This is amazing. This can help. anyone with a traumatic brain injury. Everyone's going to get different results, but for me, those were the beginning signs of it. And then I started to learn that it empowered the choice.
Yeah.
And and as soon as you're aware that you're not aware, you're in presence. But like I told you longer ago, for me, I needed to do something physical
Hmm.
to like tell me that I'm able to do that. And so that's why I implemented the breath.
Yeah.
But also, since then, since I had taught you that, I read the book The Greatest Secret, which is by the same person that wrote The Secret. She talks about she was happy, every life was grand after The Secret, after she discovered The Secret, but then all of a sudden things weren't so great. So she went on a search again, and she went all over the world, to the Eastern world, and connected with Deepak Chopra and a whole bunch of really big name,
Yeah.
gurus, and only to come to find out that she didn't need to go anywhere.
Mm.
It lies close to all of us.
She already had the answer.
Awareness.
Yeah.
And so now, in between those 10 things in a day, when I start to feel anxiety, or I start to feel the overwhelm, or I start to hear this negative thing, or I start to experience something I don't want,
Mm.
or I would like not to experience, I know there's a program going on from my subconscious mind.
Yeah.
And I stop. And the tip with that is you welcome it. And it says, you kind of like welcome it. I mentally now do it. I don't hug the air like I did the first couple of days, but I mentally give a hug, and I just say, mm, you're welcome here. You are so welcome here. And you know what? It dissolves.
It's amazing.
So now, with the combination of the two, I am I'm always happy, but I'm even like I'm happy because you know what? I'm keeping myself in awareness. And when I
Yeah.
start to think, "Oh, I don't have the money for that," I have the abundance because I am blessed.
Yeah.
God kept me alive. I said yes to
Hello.
Jesus.
Mm.
I said yes to Jesus 31 years ago. And I didn't say yes to Jesus because of me. I said yes to Jesus because I trust Jesus.
Yeah.
I trust him with my life, truly, because I wouldn't be here. I
That's
would
right.
not be sitting here having this wonderful conversation, although I've really dictated time on, on talking.
I gave you
But
the floor.
I have one more thing to share, and I have always known that I've needed to share that unconditional love that I experienced during my near death. And at mass today, it came full circle. Like, because I mean, knowing you're supposed to share that unconditional. Whoops! Hold on, I hit something.
We're still going.
Okay, that was just the devil trying to stop me. No big deal. I Sharing unconditional love with the world and with people, that's a pretty big task.
Yeah.
How? I've always wondered how. Okay, I'm nice. I'm helpful. I'm kind. I'm generous.
Hmm.
But that's not really sharing what I felt
Yeah.
when I said yes to Jesus. But it was alerted to me today. That's part of the reason why I was so intrigued with presence and awareness and being in the now, because that is tapping into the unconditional love that your spirit is made of. And when you can start to tap into that, you are experiencing God's unconditional love in the human version to the best of your capabilities until you can go home and see Jesus permanently.
I love
And
it.
so I had such clarity. Like I knew that I had a mission to help traumatic brain injury survivors, but this clarity of this of what I'm trying to do, it's like it's I just feel like I won the lottery. Like there the questions are leaving. Like I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know how it's all going to work, but you know what? I trust it. I
Mm,
absolutely trust it because it came to me, one, in a godly place, church, and
yeah.
two, because of the whole package of everything. It just, it just, and there's no more beautiful gift than to help someone to tap into who they are
Hmm.
and to be aware. So it's, yes, it is empowerment, but my real mission is for people to find that awareness, to know that that's who they really are,
Yep.
and they can make choices from awareness that
Mm-hmm.
can a keep them safe,
Mm-hmm.
help them to do things in a way that is right for them,
Yeah.
not because you think so Johnny Joe down the street doesn't like the way you do it, or our family. I mean, I read in the groups enough that we have family that don't like the way we do things.
Absolutely.
And granted, in the beginning months, days, years, we can't see that.
Mm.
We just we just be. I don't think that's very good English, but but there's
But it's
no better way
accurate.
to say it. But you
It's
know
very
what?
accurate.
Now to just be in meditation
Mhm.
is a whole new gamut of just be.
Oh yeah.
And so meditation, along with that 3-step system that I gave, is the true secret to
Mm.
finding what's good.
Yeah. We spend too much time wanting and searching, and we don't spend enough time with the person we're with our entire life.
And
Yeah.
so, even though your body isn't working right, you're not able to remember the things you want to remember. You're not able to do the things you want to do. Ultimately, know where I want to try to help people tap into. I really believe that it's it can work for anyone, even if all of that is not working well, because that is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly believe that God wouldn't have turned on that light, that flashlight today, if it wasn't what I was meant to do and to help everyone.
Yeah. Good words. Very good words.
And I just love people. Like, I love you. Someday we have got to, maybe in the summer here when we don't have any snow and like yucky stuff, maybe we can like meet halfway somewhere,
Yeah.
because I don't live far from Indiana. So,
Right.
but I want to meet you, and I don't want to just give you a virtual hug. I want to give you a real hug.
Maybe if we do it on a day that's cloudy, we can do a weather report.
And we'll do it together.
Yeah. Especially your banana or mine.
Depends who's shining brighter.
Oh, I just reminded myself I'm gonna make banana bread today too.
I'm out of bananas, so you enjoy your banana bread.
It'll probably be gone before the evenings here, but no, knowing me, I tend to overdo things, so it'll probably be like 2 or 3 batches. So My
Well,
mother-in-law will
everything
probably
in
go home.
moderation is a good thing, okay?
Yeah, well, it'll probably some of it will go home with the mother-in-law, and you know, that's
Well,
fine. I'll have
and
a share.
they're good if you take them and you put them in the freezer too. And then when you get them out, they're really moist.
Yeah, but I don't. It'll never make it to the freezer. It'll all be gone.
I figured, but I just thought I'd help you.
Everyone says, "Oh, you could freeze it for up to 3 months." I'm like, it'll never see the freezer. The crumbs will be in the bottom of the pan, and that's what it'll see. But that's okay, and that's why I keep my girlish figure too. So
Oh, that it's all good.
it is. God loves me.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
He loves you. He loves me, and he loves everyone that is seeing this and who isn't seeing this.
the way I look at it, I'm giving my pallbearers a reason to hit the gym.
Oh, I don't know. It is what it is.
Right. God loves you anyway.
Yes, he does.
It's been so great talking with you today, Janet.
Well, I didn't get to hear much from you. I really kind of took the floor.
I gave it to you. I don't just give people the floor and say,
Well, I know, but thank you for allowing me to share what is truly on my heart today. I mean, it's
yeah,
always on my heart, but it the clarity of what is on my heart. God, that's another thing in the book. I do make the claim of the quote, everything happens for a reason at its appointed time.
right.
And today was the appointed time because I was supposed to come on here and talk with you.
Yeah. And hey,
Why
I
didn't
don't
we do
mind if
that
you
months
did a
ago
lot
so
of
I could have had that
talking.
appointed time sooner?
I don't mind that you do the talking because that's what the platform is for. I want people to share what they're passionate about.
Well, I am passionate about helping others and
Yeah.
what I said.
And
And
we
I
share that
also
passion too.
I gave that the 3 step away. Try it, implement it.
Yeah.
I'm here. That I will help you implement it and grow up even more beyond that.
How can people reach you, Janet?
People can go to www.janetshane, and Shane is SCHOEN.com, or I'm I work on Facebook a lot looking to help people, and so just send me a message.
Awesome. We'll link that below. So click down
Oh, and I
below.
do have an email,
Oh, yeah.
joyinlife@janetshane.com.
That's why I couldn't find you. I was typing in Janet Shane.
Yeah, it's
So, we'll,
joyinlife@janetshane.com is my email.
and we'll put that down there as well. So make sure you take advantage of that. Get in touch with Janet and get a book from Janet.
Yes, because they're all about overcoming and I'm having a brain fart. Overcoming, hope, and inspiration. There we go.
Yeah,
Hope, inspiration, and overcoming.
and for the people that don't like to read, you have it in the ebook form, and you could just have your reader read it to you.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yep.
So Janet, why don't you send us off today? I don't normally turn it over to the guest to send us off, but would you do the closing and encourage people to do the UTV stuff?
I ask if you are experiencing anything less than what you want to experience in your daily to day life, please let's connect because let's see if we worked if we because I look like I there's nothing wrong just like you, but you'll hear from my heart. I truly am a survivor. I understand where you're at. I can meet you because I have 31 years of experience, but I've gotten a whole lot smarter in the last 4 years with this stuff. And I am here to help you and to help you to implement it and to serve you. And right now it's my birthday month. And so I have a special going on that is affordable. for almost everyone. And there's nothing better than pouring into your own cup.
Mm.
It's not selfish to try to better yourself, because what ends up happening, like I had told you about the stop yelling thing, my family noticed that, like, boom.
Probably right away.
Yeah, they did. And so I'm a better mom. I'm a better person
Yeah.
because I can stop.
And who doesn't want to be better?
So I'm here for you. Rob's going to attach the stuff. I send you, as I end most of my stories and my videos, I send you nothing but love and blessings always from my heart to yours.
Thanks, Janet. Bye, guys.